All right, so we have an update with Bobby, Lee, and Khalyla regarding both their relationship and the Brennan Schaub drama, because the other day on their podcast, Bobby brought up how Khalyla is sneaky on the internet and she could figure out anything, and she even described herself as an internet sleuth. So, of course, some of the comments on the podcast had to point out that, hey, maybe she was involved with the Fighter and the Kid subreddit, and maybe Brendan was actually onto something. And in my opinion, this obviously doesn't prove anything, and it could be a stretch. I'm sure people will think that, but I found it intriguing enough to talk about because I also like to be a detective on the internet, and maybe there's something here. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let's check it out.
And we will find her name.
Maybe she's like Scrub. She's tough to find. Yeah.
Oh, but she can find anybody.
Really?
No. I don't. If
She's not gonna do it. She's not gonna do it. I'm just letting you know that if you want somebody found, anyone on the internet, she's the one.
Wait.
You're a professional. I've seen you do shit that would boggle. I'm like, how the fuck did you find this person?
No, I'm just.
What?
Well, you gave away my. I'm an undercover sleuth. I am.
Are you really?
Right.
But only if I really want to know certain information. Like if somebody has hurt Bobby, I'll find ways.
Right. If you get deputized to do it, you
Right.
have the
If I
energy
feel
and
like if the spirit
competency to do
moves
it.
me,
Yeah.
like, but like for instance, when George's wife is very private because she just wants to keep it that way. And I remember when he first told me he had a girlfriend, and I was like, well, what's her name? And he wouldn't tell me. And 10 seconds later, what did I say?
Yeah, you said you were very quickly at. It was like, oh my god, how did you find that out? That was very quick.
I was like, oh, how's so and so? Immediately, but because it's like if the challenge is there, I will take on that challenge. But also, it's like he challenged me, you're not. She seems like she really wants to maintain her privacy, and I will respect that. I will not find her.
No, I
but
know.
will.
Thank you.
Did you guys hear that we broke up?
Yeah, then of course Bobby gets right into the breakup, which I'll cover after I talk about this a little bit. But I like how Khalyla says she only does this kind of stuff when somebody hurts Bobby or goes after him. Like she'll use this to find them and then dig up some dirt probably. But then her one example is, I think her employee here, he had a girlfriend and it sounded like he didn't want to tell her name, and then somehow she figured it out on the internet. And honestly, when all this Brennan Schaub drama first went down, I did not think Khalyla was part of the Fighting the Kids subreddit. I thought that was ridiculous. And I thought Brennan was told some false information or something from his team. But as time has gone on, I do think there is a small possibility that Khalyla did have something to do with the Fighting the Kids subreddit, because it's just been weird how she's handled it all, and it does seem like she tries to embarrass Brendan. Like when Brendan went on the Tiger Belly podcast, you could tell she's getting off on making him look like an idiot and making him sound stupid. And she was really downplaying the whole truck walk that started all this drama. Like she's calling it a little giggly girl talk or whatever she kept saying. And I don't know. I think she kind of knew what she was doing on that podcast. Like, I don't think that podcast is live. They could have at least edited out the part where she said he's a bad comedian, or somebody said that, and they all start laughing like, oh, that gives it away. Like, once you say that, the whole internet knows who you're talking about. And also, Brendan said right when he called them about the subreddit account, it stopped posting, and I think it's deleted maybe or something, which maybe it's just a coincidence. And also, there's no real proof of this. But that is a little suspicious. And now obviously we have Bobby talking about how she is like the best detective ever and she could figure anything out, and she's just really good at using the internet, I guess. And maybe she's been using those skills on the Fighter and the Kids subreddit, but who really knows? It could just be nothing. I'd say maybe there's a 25% chance she had something to do with it. Alright, so now let's move on to her and Bobby's relationship, because of course they have to bring that up and ask their guests what they think about it.
Did you guys hear that we broke up?
I did, yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me sad because I like both you guys a lot, and I like you guys together. But I know you guys will both be solid. But I kind of think you guys are gonna get back together. I guess is what I.
Oh, you think that's what the show is gonna happen?
That's the show.
If this was a movie, you think that's how the movie's gonna go?
What's the third act?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone asked me, they were like, I told someone I was doing this today, and they were like, oh, did they break up? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, I kind of thought about it. I was like, I think they're going to get back together. Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel?
I was really sad too.
You were?
Yeah, I listened to the episode. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I really love the fact that you guys are still doing the podcast together, and you still have a deep love for each other.
Yeah, you have nice rapport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that there's still a connection.
Yeah. Good. Fantastic.
Why did you even ask that question? It's so awkward.
It's not awkward to me. I like these boys. And I
But
wanted,
it's like every guest that we've had,
every guest.
he's been like, "Do you guys?" He asked them, "How do you feel about us breaking up?"
Well, I guess it is kind of like the elephant in the room, and your forte is kind of, saying what's up to it.
exactly.
I respect it. Hey,
Exactly.
wear less armor, you move faster.
Whoa.
Yeah, no more armor. But I just wanted to see how you guys felt about it. I didn't want. It's like here's what it is. It's like when you have kids, right? And you tell your kids that mommy and dad are having a divorce, and how are you feeling about it? I feel like you need to know how people feel about it, right? And to make sure everything's okay. I think that's what I'm doing. I feel like the people that come to our podcast are friends and people that I, respect and I love in a weird way. I mean, I'm not in love with you guys, but there is if you had died, like Anne Heche,
Rest in
right?
peace.
Rest in peace, right? It would devastate me. So I'm just asking that. I'm telling you, mommy and daddy are okay.
Mommy and daddy.
Mommy and daddy are okay, right? And we're still gonna be here for you guys. Okay?
We're gonna live next door.
Yeah, we're gonna live
with each
next
Hell
door,
yeah.
right?
Are you really?
other. That's a
I
plan.
want her close so that I can see the animals and we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also it's like we're gonna continue to do this podcast, but I kind of want her a little far too. You know what I mean?
Far enough that
Far
not
enough.
within like
Eye
shot,
distance.
so
Yeah.
he can like not across the street, so that he can still have his privacy, because he'll need it.
Why?
Because you're a dog.
I do feel an increased sensitivity from you. Like there's something in you that's different than the last time we were on here.
Medication.
So I guess their plan is now Khalyla's just going to move out and like move next door or something, which at least that's a step in the right direction, I'd say. At least they're not sleeping in the same bed anymore, even though I'm sure it'll take forever just for that to happen. I just don't think these two can give each other up. Like, Bobby is still definitely in love with her, and I think she would have been quicker to move out if they didn't have the whole podcast together and if they weren't like doing business with each other. Like, now it just makes it a lot more difficult. And it's funny that Bobby's comparing it to two parents getting divorced, and they're like reassuring the kids that everything's gonna be all right, because when they first broke up, their fans' reactions, it was like their parents just got divorced. And the episode where they're talking about their breakup, they're trying to like reassure them, like, don't worry, it's all good. The podcast is going to continue. We're still in love with each other. And now almost every podcast, they bring it up and they ask their guests what they think about it. And usually their guests would be confused and they'd be like, oh, that doesn't sound like the most healthy relationship. But recently, like with these guys and with Whitney Cummings a few weeks ago, they completely understood and they thought everything was fine. They're like, oh, you guys, your relationship is great. You guys will get back together. And also, obviously, the podcast, like a big part of it is their relationship and them talking about their relationship. So if they ever did like really break up, like a real breakup, and they moved out and they didn't talk to each other as much, I don't think the podcast could really continue. Like, already fans want them to end it, but I don't think that'll happen anytime soon. I think it's still doing good numbers, and this breakup thing has probably only helped it, because then they can make clips out of that and that gets a lot of views. Like, their relationship and their breakup and everything is pretty good clickbait, and I'm sure Bobby knows that. I'm sure that's another reason why he brings it up. Alright, so that's about it for this video. Make sure you hit the like button, then leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about all this. Then hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you at the next video.